What up, Spicoli?
Yo, DT, what's popping?
What's popping, man?
Man, we are on location.
On location
Like,
with
they
our
got us
homies.
out of the house. Like, this doesn't happen too often. When it does, it's got to be like a special moment.
We're podcasting with a big guest for the 1 year bash, man.
I'm excited they're playing. I can't believe they agreed to it. Like,
I know.
Man.
High as giraffe pussy. High as giraffe
Start
pussy.
the show. The Good Life with BT. It's Nicole. Welcome to the Good Life.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. Good Life. These boys crazy.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. What? A Good Life.
We are joined by public figure.
What up, boys?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. Why don't you guys go around and introduce yourselves individually, what you do in the band?
Sure. Well, I'm John. I play drums. This is Roger. He's vocalist, Dolan, bassist, and RJ, who plays guitar. Hi.
Hi.
What's up? Howdy.
Yo, I was, first time we saw him was at Alyeska Back to Nash. They fucking killed it. You guys killed it, dude. That was an awesome
thank you.
show.
Yeah, that was
so much fun.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw you guys too. And Roger rocking the bandana. That was a look, dude. I loved it.
Hey, you know, I tried it out that day and it seemed to work. So I pulled it like out in the car in the parking lot and was like, I'm gonna give it a shot.
I think you got to do it now.
I think it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm requesting you wear the bandana at the 1 year bash.
I will. You know what? I will wear the bandana at the 1 year.
Yes, dude.
Absolutely.
I will buy it. Do you have it on you? I will buy it from you right now.
I don't have it on.
We did have that moment right before the show. Guys, bandana? No bandana?
Yeah, I go bandana. I go. Do I look too much like a hibachi chef? Like, what do I got?
You got to sign that thing and sell for some good money. With
Right.
Some
Hell
sweater.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's a new merch idea. Public figure bandanas.
Dude.
Who knows? Who knows?
That actually could pop
You
off.
if you get one, we'll rock them at our 1 year bash.
We'll rock them.
Get them.
Red's my
That's
favorite
how we'll
color.
introduce you guys. We'll go out wearing bandanas. Even if we don't get them, we'll introduce them by wearing bandanas to go up.
Okay.
We're gonna
got
make that a thing for public
these
figure.
handy
the
dandy
bandana.
koozies.
Yeah, you guys
These koozies too. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You got
Dude,
a lot of cool merch.
So the biggest surprise at that show they played was they had like some really badass covers. They had like Day to Remember and Taylor Swift. And they came out with fucking Flowbots, dude. And the crowd went nuts for Flowbots, which I was shocked about because it's like the older song of all.
That was all Dolan. That was.
Oh, man. So I actually, shout out to the Lookout Lounge. I actually saw a band cover that song there, and that was like, it was so cool. I'm like, okay, we got to do this. So I shot it over to Roger because when he came to us with some music, because he's the newer vocalist of this group, right?
Right.
So he came to us and he had some demos and some of them were rap songs. And I'm like, this guy can rap. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
So you rapped before?
Yeah.
That's how I do Mod Sun. So that's why it's interesting. I know
Yeah.
you rap, dude.
Well, I didn't rap openly.
Okay.
I had a phase, and well, I've always loved rap.
I was like, I just said I rapped, and he's like, I had a phase, and I'm like, wait, what does that make me? Yeah. I'm like, I'll fucking flow. Let's do this thing.
Well, why don't you
Well,
flow
no,
right here?
I had a phase
Rap
where
battle.
I had a phase where I would like write rap.
Okay.
And do rap, but I've never incorporated into live solo acts or anything because before I'd primarily done live solo stuff.
Okay.
And it's kind of hard to mix it in with my other stuff because it was either like singer songwriter, you know, soft acoustic stuff, and then like hard beats and rap. And so it was hard to do both at the same time. And so I had to kind of pick a path and go that way. But
Right.
I've always loved rap, and it's
Who's your favorite rap artist? Like that. Like, don't say like an Avi. Don't say like Eminem or something. Say something like, I want to see if I can agree with you.
so I was a huge Strange Music fan.
Okay.
I loved like Tech Nine and Ritz, and then you know from Slamerican I like Yellow Wolf, and
There you go.
and so that's what I listened to, you know, a lot of, and that's kind of I would rap along with like Tech Nine and
Hell yeah.
and work on, you know, getting those like fast choppy flows down. And now, you know, Omaha, like King ISO is with Strange Music, does a lot of stuff with them, and that's, you know, super cool that we get some Omaha, you know, influence.
right.
And they've always been a big like Midwest, well, I guess, you know, this area label. So
I was always into rhyme sayers, dude.
Okay.
So if you would have said Atmosphere, I would have jumped out of my seat. Just
Sure.
now, but-
Atmosphere is so good. unironically.
Well,
we'll talk
what
about
I'm
it.
picturing is like now we need to get King ISO, Yellow Wolf, and Public Figure all on one show. We should manifest this.
That would be
dope.
incredible.
It'd be pretty insane.
I think it's possible.
I mean,
I definitely think that's
we had
possible.
King ISO on the podcast. And
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're
Tech
starting-
Nine's next. Yes, what's coming up for this year? Tech Nine. That's who we're going after.
That would be
Ooh.
that would
In
be great.
atmosphere.
Manifest it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. We got to get more of those rappers on.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously you're new to the band.
Yes.
How did you transition into Public Figure?
So I had heard of Public Figure before. Basically, what had happened was I was looking for stuff to do that weekend. So I'm a big, Reddit guy, and so I was on the Omaha subreddit, and I saw this this post that was like, "Where my singers at?" And I was like, "Okay, what is this? What is this, man?"
Actual quote.
So I clicked it, and it was like, "Hey, we're a band that we're looking for, a vocalist, blah blah blah," and it said some stuff about the band. So I was like, whatever. I'm not doing anything crazy right now, and so I commented in it, and then I got a DM from Dolan, and he was like, "Hey, send me some stuff," and so I sent him some stuff, and he's like, "I like it. Come in and interview with you," and that's when I did like a Zoom interview with them. Well, I guess it was on like Facebook Messenger or something, but that's how I knew that these guys were like serious, and I was like, "Oh, sweet!" Like because John was. Anybody that knows John any more than no, I'm just kidding. The very first time you meet John, you pick up on his intensity.
Oh yeah.
This is
Agreed.
Yeah, I would say anybody that knows him, you don't have to know him. You can meet the dude one time, and I was like, this dude means business. And he asked straight up, he's like, "Are you ready? Like, you just got to know that there's the fun things in the band, and then there's the stuff that not everybody wants to do. The hard work that you got to put in. Like, are you willing to do that stuff?" Because if you're not, that's cool, dude. If you want to jam, if you want to do stuff like that, that's fine. But we're looking for someone who is willing to do those things and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, these guys are real about stuff. And so yeah, so Reddit, and then boom, I tried out a couple times, and they gave me like a demo, and they were like, "Hey, see if you can do anything with this." And they just kind of like tossed it out. "See if you can do anything with this. Like, this might be interesting." And then we just recorded that song in studio a couple weeks ago. That's "Love You Found."
Should be coming out in about, depending on when we get it back, probably the next 2 months.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear it. Dude.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
ready for
wait.
it. Yeah.
Kevin did an incredible job.
Yeah, you can get a sneak peek of it actually if you hop on our Patreon. We got
Oh,
sneak peeks in there.
you can.
Yeah.
You
absolutely
There you
can.
go.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wondering who was gonna plug it.
We take this very seriously. One of the things we're trying to do is, in order to circumvent the idea that we're just going to have to take a massive bank loan from a record label, because that's usually how it goes.
Yep.
You guys are
Yep.
well versed in the music industry. We're trying to crowdsource it from the ground up. So for literally $3 a month, you can get cheap merch, early access to tickets, behind the scenes content, and you can be one of the people who literally helps us eventually get to go to our companies and say, "Hey guys, I've loved working here, but I get to go do what I want to do, which is music for the rest of my life."
I fucking love
Love it, baby. Love it. Love it.
That's John right there in a nutshell when
That's
you meet him.
right.
That's why we
Yeah.
Johnny.
I want to be your friend, but first I have some conditions you have to meet.
Sign this.
That's right.
You can't be shitty. Like,
So you guys, we heard a little something about like the Elkhorn tornado with you guys. What happened with that?
All you, baby.
Yeah, so goodness, it's crazy. I was home when I lived in Ramblewood. My brother and I were home. We actually got thrown from our house.
holy crap.
Yeah, I can't even like explain how crazy it all was, but basically, I mean, I had left for work because the tornado sirens they went on, or they were on, and then they turned off, and so I was like, okay, I'm good to leave for work. And on my way there, John called me, and keep in mind at this point, like I joined with you guys in I think somewhere in February, so I had only really known them for a couple months at this point, and John called me and he said, "Hey, there's a tornado out by you guys. Are you somewhere safe?" And I said, "Well, I'm on my way to work." And he goes, "Well, I would get somewhere safe because it's, there's something over by you." And so I called my brother and I said, "Hey, I'm on my way home. There's a tornado in the area. Get the dogs downstairs, all that stuff." And I, turned around, rushed back home as fast as I could. And it was like just completely black. But it didn't look, when I left the house, it didn't look too crazy. It just looked dark outside, But as I was coming back, it was coming directly at me, basically. So I got in front of the house, ran inside, and then one of our dogs had run upstairs. So we had ran upstairs to grab him, and that's when the tornado hit our house. And we could kind of feel, the house pulled a vacuum, and then all the windows blew out at the same time, and then the floor started like shaking, and we gave up on, looking, and we were like, we got to get to the basement. So we ran, and this all happened in a matter of maybe 15 seconds.
Jeez, that's insane.
And so we started trying to run downstairs, and that's when the house basically all came apart. I don't know if you've ever seen a video of a house getting hit by a tornado, but it just rips it to shreds, and we were thrown with the stuff. I got thrown about 100 feet. Royce got thrown about 80 feet, and everything above ground level was completely gone. And in the basement was our rehearsal space.
Man, dude.
And tornadoes are so weird. The amount of stuff that was just absolutely destroyed, and then right next to it was like totally fine. I mean, I had in our basement, RJ's guitar was leaned up against one of the walls.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where it was afterwards. It didn't move. But everything around it was completely gone. The drums that were in the corner of the room were destroyed. There was some in the yard, some in the basement, cymbals all over the place. But the guitar was right there. Everything that was in a case, specifically like the Gator cases that we had, were like fine.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Gator.
Huge shout out to Gator.
We
what I
shared
use.
that story with Gator, and Gator sent me a new guitar case, and they're sending us some drum cases and everything.
That's
so,
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
shout out to Gator for sending us some
That's
stuff.
amazing. I'm having a full circle moment because did you talk to the news? I talked about this on my radio show.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm coming face to
It's
face
him.
with you. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was you
Oh,
at
you
the
did?
time. Yeah. Because
Yep.
we were talking about the tornado and how people can help and sharing stories of what people had gone through. And I remember the dog. And I was like, man, I don't want to blame the dog, but what happened? Because was the dog running away? It was scared?
No, he's old. He's 14.
Okay.
So we've got two dogs, and they're both old, but one of them is really tiny.
Okay.
He's 5-pound miniature Yorkie poodle, and he's deaf.
Okay.
And he was in the basement, and then we looked around, and I couldn't see him. So my thought is that he had ran upstairs to try to find my wife, but she was at work. Thank goodness, because I can't even imagine. I thought that I had time. I don't know. I'd never seen how crazy weather could be. I've lived in Omaha my entire life. I've heard thousands of tornado sirens, been in hundreds of tornado warnings, and a tornado of this magnitude hasn't hit like the Omaha metro in 50 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Since the 70s. So I thought that I had time to run and grab my dog, and but he actually turned out he was in the basement the whole time.
I was gonna say, dude, what happened to the dog?
Dude,
That's
they're
what I've been
both
waiting
fine.
for.
Both
They're
dogs
both
lived.
fine. They're
Yeah.
both fine.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Now, some people, after they survive tornadoes like that, they feel invincible. Like,
Not
do
at
you
all.
feel invincible? No, okay. Or it's like it
Feel
changes.
very vincible.
Okay.
Yeah.
It changes your perspective where like how some people will go out and record, and record the tornado so they can get out and see it. Now, do you take it more seriously where you hide in the basement and you're not messing around?
Pretty much. I've always was really interested by weather in general, and I liked the big storms, and I felt not really invincible, but I hadn't seen anything super life-threatening in my life, and so it just wasn't on my radar in that way. Even though I knew that tornadoes were dangerous, as everybody does, you never think that it's going to hit your house in your city, in your at
Right.
the time that you are home. And I've kind of channeled that into just tracking storms and that kind of stuff. We were just a couple weeks ago, we were just down in Springfield, Missouri, recording. We got some new music coming out soon, one original and three like re-records of some classic Public Figure songs. On our way back, there was a big storm system rolling through like right where we had to go through, and there was no way we could avoid anything. And I was kind of just tracking the storms the whole time, and we dodged a tornado by like a few miles because I was just watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, like, hey, we should pull over now because there's a tornado on the ground a mile ahead of us. And so we pulled over, and there was a guy who was like, did you guys see that tornado out there? We're like, no. And he showed us a video, and if we would have kept driving, we would have been in that tornado. Man. So and it wasn't like a F3 that hit, you know, our recording or our rehearsal space, aka my house, but it was, you know, you don't want to deal with it. So,
but enough to lift it up. I feel like, you know, with that new movie Twisters coming out, I feel like you guys
what are we doing
to
right
like
now?
do
We're
like
this.
I don't know, like get a song on the soundtrack, because now you have like proof of like going through that experience in somehow, some way. That
I have
should
a real
like,
good idea. Let's manifest this shit. I have a real good idea. Let's get Reed Timmer on the podcast and have Roger co-host with us.
Okay.
I like Reed Timmer.
That would be cool,
Yeah.
dude. So you've been through it. He drives into him for fun, but
Yeah.
having both sides of it, like, oh, it's so fun, and you're like, hey man, fuck you. Like, it ain't that fun, man.
I absolutely,
that'd be fun.
super respect what all like storm chasers do.
Yeah.
They're how we know what's on the ground. They're an invaluable resource. So
I would love to get him on. That'd be fun. We should do that.
That'd be a lot
You know,
of fun.
Roger going through that, it really reminded us how important it is to really chase our dreams. You know,
100%.
Because at any time something big could happen and it could change everything. And so we really channeled everything into trying to help him recover. We were there at his house helping him dig through and find his stuff.
Yep.
Hours later, we visited him in the hospital. We're so glad you're here, man. And he was just absolutely hell-bent on playing our first show 1 week later.
Oh my God.
We walked into the hospital. He's in a gown like covered in blood. And he's like, all the instruments are gone. I still want to play the show a week from now. We're like, Roger, are you okay? Is everybody? Yeah.
That's dope, though, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we played it and we had a great time.
That's awesome. That's rock and roll. The show must go on.
It is.
Absolutely.
And we were able to get in quick enough. RJ went in that next morning, went and grabbed, because the basement flooded. The water main into the house broke. If you can guess which side of the meter it broke on. Anyway, it broke, flooded the basement. RJ was able to get in there, pull all of our electronics, pedals, pedal boards, all that kind of stuff, our amps, pull everything out of the basement that was still there. Looked around, found all the stuff. He brought it back home, took everything apart, cleaned it, dried it, and we were able to salvage, I don't want to put a money amount on it, but probably
A large piece.
2/3 of the electronics that were down there.
Yeah, we got real lucky with that. So like take my Headrush pedal board, for example. It was literally in water, and it's a modulating pedal board.
Yeah.
So like it's all electronics. Had that thing working 4 days later. Shout out Headrush.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
It's
but
crazy.
yeah, a lot of Q-tips and,
Rubbing alcohol.
rubbing alcohol.
This pod, when it drops, is just going to have all these tags like Head Rush, Gator, Reed Timmer.
Yeah, man.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, right.
You realize it takes like a village to bounce back from something like this, and especially like all of your equipment and how important all of that is to, you know, you guys as a band and like as human beings and stuff. And did you get a new house? Or-
So we were renting,
okay.
which was great because we, didn't have to deal with the homeowners insurance. Renters insurance is settles a lot quicker,
Yeah,
a lot easier. So we got into a new place with a fully recessed basement. It was not a split level raised ranch because the basement was only 3 feet deep. So
dude.
full recessed basement now, which is where we were literally practicing earlier today. Sundays are usually our practice day, and we're in the new place. It's all great. We just bought a band van, so it's a
There you go.
excuse me, this sparkling water.
That's spicy water.
It's a 92 Chevy G30 conversion van that I'm stripping the whole inside out, and we're kind of repurposing it into a band van, which you guys might see. I'm planning on having it road ready on the 27th, so we're probably gonna roll up the 27th in the band van.
I
Hell
hope you
yeah.
guys paint the outside like one of those 80s bands with like dragons and shit.
I love it. We want to see it.
But like put like the public figure logo on it, but make it look like that.
Yeah.
And the colors, dude.
Yeah.
That would be
Well,
so
I got
dope.
the idea from Beast Eagle.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Beast
that's
Eagle's
right.
got an awesome, like, old, I think it's like a Dodge van or maybe it's a Chevy van, and their license plate is just heavy metal. And I was like, dude, these guys are cool, man. And
Yeah, and we take everything with our music super seriously. That's why
Right.
we're getting a van now. That's why we incorporated. We have an LLC, and we wanted. One of the things we think a lot of people kind of miss in the music industry is the business side of it, right? We want it to all be about the art, but the unfortunate truth is you got to do the social media too.
Oh yeah.
You've got to make sure that your money's right. You've got to make sure everything's clean and ready to go if you get picked up by a record label, right? And so we really are invested in this. We want it to be our careers, and one step at a time, we're getting there. You know?
Oh yeah, man.
I actually saw a thing on TikTok that I thought was pretty funny. It was like, what's it like being in a band? Or do you have what it takes to take your band to the next level? And it's like, can you play your instrument well? Yeah. Can you write music? Can you write good music? Yeah. Can you make silly videos on the internet? And it's like,
It's kind of the thing, right? Yeah.
It's just
You have to
as
be a
important.
content creator.
Yes,
now.
exactly.
It's almost more important to be a content creator. As stupid
Yep.
as that sounds, you have to be
Yeah.
really good at it.
Well,
You have to
social
be
media
really
is the
good.
new way to get discovered, right?
Yeah.
It's like an engine, and the content that you put into it is the gasoline. And that is the main difference between like now and like even 15 years ago. People would show up to their record store or get recommendations for music from their friends, or they'd go see a concert to find new music. Now everybody does it on two places: TikTok and I'm having a stroke.
Radio.
And Instagram Reels and Spotify. That's what I was.
Yeah, radio.
Yeah, and the radio. Yeah, and the radio. Yes,
mean-
of course. And
You don't gotta plug radio, man, right now.
so
Nobody listens to the fucking radio. Love you, buddy, but I'm just playing. Oh god damn it.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
kidding.
what can we expect from you guys on 727? A lot of, there's going to be a lot of new faces that you're going to be playing in front of. What can we expect from Public Figure?
Ooh, we were just talking about this. We're definitely going to whip out a couple new songs, right? We were just running through those. You can expect high energy. I like to think of us as a party band. So we work really, really hard on stage presence, and we work really, really hard on, making it an entertaining show more than just, dudes playing instruments on the
Yeah.
stage. So, that's kind of our main focus, I would say. New
Yeah.
music and high energy. We
know-
want to party, guys.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a good
show
party.
up to shows not to see the exact music they heard, in the art. That's not what they're there for. They want an event. They want to see larger than life people who can take them out of their own troubles, and they can get lost in the crowd singing songs they love, and that's kind of what we want to do. We view like the space between us and the crowd as a mirror. And so if we're up there just kind of standing, doing nothing, then that's what they're going to do. But if we're up there doing backflips and like I'm waving my arms
We will
around
not
and
be
screaming
doing
and smiling,
backflips.
Do a backflip.
got to do a backflip now.
I bet RJ can do a back. Can you do a backflip?
You want to see one right now?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
No.
You want to see me die?
No.
So
I mean, that's why I fell in love with Story of the Year, though, dude. Honestly, I mean, like their stage presence was
Yep.
nuts, dude.
Right.
And like immediately they're so slow. So I'm totally on board with that, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to a show and just like there's bands like Seether who are amazing, dude. You go see them live, they kind of just stand there and play, and it kind of
Yeah.
kills it. I love
Yeah.
Seether, but yeah, I follow exactly.
And
what
that's
you're saying.
great. That's got its place.
Right.
100%.
Right.
but that's not what we're doing.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you guys go nuts.
Yes, sir.
we should have after seeing them, dude, and then booking them on the 1 year. We should after like their diversity and covers. We should have been like, yo, this is a cover we want you guys to do. You can do Flowbots and a Day to Remember, dude. I
Right.
can do fucking anything.
Right.
We can do
Well,
lots.
I don't know if you guys saw anything from the show we played the next week. We covered a Taylor Swift song as well.
You covered that at
We covered that at
Oh, yeah,
you
I
did
guess
that.
we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. we did that.
I Knew You Were Trouble, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, goodness.
That was a lot.
pay
of fun.
attention,
It was
man.
a lot.
Well,
of
I
fun.
couldn't remember if we had that one in the set list that day. We
what-
didn't have Come Down in it.
Yeah, come
You
down
do
by
Come
Bush.
Down by
Yeah.
Bush,
By
dude?
Bush.
Yeah. He's going to freak
Like
out.
which, like the Mayday Parade version or
No.
the Bush cover?
No.
No, the
And
Bro, 727.
It's
I want
in
to
it.
see. All right, dude.
Yep, it's
in
on the
there.
set list.
It's in there.
So you'll hear that's something you can expect. But variety and just a good time.
Yeah, dude. Bush is legit my first rock band. Now, my son's named Gavin. Not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
That got me. That's my.
Wait,
favorite
you guys are going to book Gavin Rossdale then? You got to, right? Like
We're
that's got
trying,
to be
yeah,
the
we're trying.
yeah.
We're trying. Until the day this
Manifest
podcast
it.
is done, I will be trying.
Gavin. If you hear this, you got to come on.
Gavin Ross. I talked to his
he's
realtor.
watching.
Like I've
He's
got as far
watching.
as finding his realtor on Instagram, and I've talked to her about it. I'm like, yo, tell Gavin to hit me up.
Right.
Like that's how far I get crazy, dude. I
Yeah.
go deep to get people.
So
There it
you
is.
guys have already established a pretty strong following. What's it take?
Honestly, hard work, and not just on the music, like I said, on your instrument and songwriting. It's everything. It's networking. It's the show itself. It's social media. It's investing in your product because you believe in it. It costs a lot of money. Recording songs, ad campaigns, everything that you do that a normal business would do, right? That's what it takes, I think.
I think one of
And
the big things that people miss is human connection. too,
human connection,
right?
Yep.
Like people ask us all the time how we sell as many tickets as we do. The truth of the matter is we make people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, than just each other. We're all lifting this whole thing from the ground up, and a rising tide raises all boats, right? Those people are going to get to say that they were on the ground floor, that they were at the first show. And that's something that nobody can take away from them. And so when you meet people, you make them believe in it. It seems simple when you say it like that, but it requires, as Dolan said, an egregious amount of work. Like-
well, you also have to believe in it yourself too.
Yes. Yep.
Right. I think if anybody, what people are good at is spotting, frauds. Right. They're good at spotting, liars and whatever, or people who are just exaggerate their product or whatever.
Yep.
But if your product's good and you believe in that product, why not invest in it? Why not do the work?
Yeah, one of the things that social media kind of did for everybody is it showed people how much fake shit is in the world. Probably shouldn't have cursed, but whatever.
I'm about to say, are we
So
good
they
to cuss?
crave-
'Cause I'm
Oh,
going
hell
off,
yeah.
bro.
So
You guys
they-
got to give me a heads up
Yeah.
before we start.
DP's like, fuck.
So what
Dolan's like, God damn it.
So what
man."
they crave is authenticity. And so if you present an authentically good product and you authentically believe in it, then they have nothing to see through. They just see that it's good.
That's crazy. We have like the same views, man. When we started the podcast, that was kind of our thing. Like, all right, we're gonna get cool guests on, but like, how can we like hook our listeners up? And immediately he's like, shit, let's do like a radio and see if we can get free tickets from the guests. So I think the first one we did was Swaco. Yeah. And we took a group of people, and that was like 10 people. And then tonight, some of you guys are going. We gave away 60 tickets for Beartooth tonight. So we're taking a crowd of 60 people with us.
Incredible.
So it's just shit. Like, I'm with you, man. Yeah, it's a human connection is huge, because if we're not out there, man, like hanging out with people, no one gives a shit.
Then nobody
I mean,
cares.
just honestly,
and
it's
what
true.
you guys are
Exactly.
doing for the scene is huge. You had Feel Good on. What you've done for Alyeska is fantastic. You guys started up the label very recently, and it's just been a ton of work, and everybody sees it. Everybody appreciates it in the scene.
Thanks,
so
man.
for sure.
It goes back to just networking and being very passionate about like what we want to do. Like we're both very passionate about music and love to see you guys perform and getting out there and seeing what you guys do. And we're excited for that and seeing you guys play the last show. Basically why we wanted you on this show.
God, I told
mean,
everybody too before we announced them. I was like, you better get tickets now. It's about to sell out, and that bitch sold out in 3 hours,
Right.
dude. I was
So-
like, it's done. Told you.
I mean, it's exciting. You guys are doing something special for the scene and we're all paying attention to it.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But work we're happy to do.
Yeah, so work we love doing. Everybody, you have to do the stuff you don't want to do, but it makes the stuff you do want to do, aka playing a show and the crowd singing the song and like making you tear up because you're like, oh my God, that's our song.
Yeah.
Like that makes that more valuable, and it makes memories that everybody, including us, never want to forget. So
Huge props to you guys too, man, for that last show you guys were on with us. I've never seen the, I don't know, third or fourth band get an encore. And then me and John both going on stage and being like, do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Do it. Like, that was cool as shit if you guys had been like, yo, that's fine. And John's like, we'll cut our set. And I was like, nah, man, play the full set. You're good. We'll let this bitch run late, dude. Let's
which we
go.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no, you ain't getting punished for that. That was super cool. You guys be cool with that, though.
Well, that's just reflective of the fact that the audience's experience is what we all care about, right? The audience was very clearly all about Virgin Mary pistol grips. Shout out to them. And they killed that. Was it Tom Petty cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Tom Petty cover. Everybody was singing it.
yeah.
Yeah. It was Won't Back Down. That's right. Yeah. And so, of course, Like if we can always, in the grand scheme of things, us cutting one song is not going to affect whether or not we make it big, but it creates a memory for the audience in that moment, right? So,
And we're at work, you know.
Yeah.
In those in that time, like we're at work, and the purpose of us being there is to make sure that everybody is having a great time. So if somebody wants something and they're making it evident, I mean, who are we to be like, no, we want you to get off stage so we can play. You know,
Right.
it's not a good attitude to have, and we stand by that. So
And I think it's the maturity thing too that you guys get it. You guys understand, and you're so positive, and like you're supporters of the scene, and you guys stayed that entire show. You just didn't like play the set and bounce.
Yeah.
You know, so that speaks volumes of your character, and that you guys are for real all about this scene, and to see how far you can go.
well, it's so much fun. I mean, this is
You guys were in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Like, you guys were just there. You were in the mosh pit. And in the opening video, I was like, that's public figure in the opening mosh pit, dude. That's so badass, dude.
this is what we've all wanted to do since we were little kids. So there's no sense in getting to this point where it's just a jumping off point. I mean, and that's coming. I've only been with Public Figure since the beginning of this year. I mean, Dolan's been working tirelessly on building a brand and building a fan base and all this stuff to get to where we are now, which, I mean, there's just so much opportunity from here. Why would we go to a show, show up, play our music, leave, and not care about the scene that's making everything possible?
Yeah, man.
I mean, you're nothing without the people who are there at your shows.
And the scene so it felt like, not to talk shit anyways, but I know the music scene in Omaha, local scene, was like badass in the early 2000s. And it felt like it ran stagnant for a while. And now it kind of feels like it's getting to that point where it's going to be better. Shout out to Tale Untold too, man. I mean, the amount of groups in Omaha right now that are just, the diversity and like the talent level is crazy. Because back in the day, you had like, you know, Vernaculus, Emphatic, and
GTO.
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could
Condo.
name drop like 5 or 6 big ones, but now there's quite a bit of bands out here right now where the music scene's like, oh shit, when they were talking about the next Seattle thing, like it's getting to that point where the Omaha scene's starting to really kill it.
Yeah, people are paying attention to what's going on in Omaha, and you know, you feel that buzz again, and you feel like the excitement when we talk to bands like this, like you can just feel the passion. And then when you go see them live, I mean, it's on another level. And I don't know what's in the water, what all these musicians are drinking, but it's a whole lot of fun to watch. So don't sleep on these, don't sleep on these artists that we have on the podcast, because if they're on our show, it's going to be, it's special.
Bro, 727 is fucking stacked. Like front to back, that show is stacked.
The lineup for 727 is just proof that people supporting each other in the scene is what brings everybody up, which is what you were talking about a moment ago, DT. You know, if everybody contributes to everybody, then the whole scene, like I said earlier, a rising tide raises all boats. And you see bands like Feel Good that come out to other people's shows. The Tale Untold comes out to other people's shows. Alyeska, Us. These are bands that time and again are showing up and supporting, and that sets an example. The crowd will follow the band, what the bands are doing, right? And so if all of us are always doing that, then of course they're going to do it.
And the show ends with fucking Haven 21.
Yes!
That's what's cool. That it all wraps together in the end, man. That's what we love.
Feel Good played with them before too, and that was where I saw Haven 21 the first time. They're incredible. They're an incredible band. Waiting Room.
Yeah, so I used to. That's who I used to roll with back in the other two. That was my guys, man. So,
Actually, fun fact: Haven 21. I think it's their newest album. A couple years ago, I think they dropped. We have the same producer out in Springfield, Missouri. So Reach Audio.
What's his name?
Kevin Gates. But
okay,
but
that's
not.
right. You did tell me that. I didn't connect
Wait,
that,
the rapper
dude.
Kevin Gates?
No.
It's all Roger.
Yeah, it's
Kevin, it's all Roger.
Kevin
was shaking his head in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So when we found that out when we were down in Springfield, that made 727 even like bigger in our eyes, because we're like, what?
Do you guys know those guys at all?
No.
Really?
But we're band cousins apparently.
Yeah. They're cool dudes, man.
Yeah.
They're very cool dudes.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, they were back in the day. They were a big part of the scene, and they got the chance to open up for Newfound Glory, and that was a big deal for them. And they hit the road running, and that's what's the album called again?
West of Wendover.
West of Wendover. Yeah, and what West of
Wendover. Wendover's like by Vegas, I think.
Gotcha.
And their van broke down every time they went on tour, so
Right,
they could never get past there. So they named the album West of Wendover.
It's the promised land. They can't ever be
dude.
there. You know
It's
what I
that
mean?
desert heat with that Nebraska
Oh, man.
car battery.
Brutal.
It ain't winning, bro.
So I hope the band van that you got has a good transmission.
Dude, yeah, no, it's pretty sweet.
You're gonna learn to be mechanics, bro. You're gonna learn to be mechanics.
I grew up working on cars, so it's been a good time. But
There you
luckily, mechanically, I mean, it's pretty solid. 99,000 miles on it.
On what year?
92.
Oh my god!
Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
We said the same
32
thing.
years old, and
We
it's
literally
like
said the
crank.
same thing. We were like, there's only two possibilities here. This was stowed away somewhere forever, which it turns out it was, or somebody rolled the odometer back. So we brought it to our mechanic friend, and they checked it out with Roger. No, it's just it's a beast. It's amazing.
It's like being 45 and not married. Either there's something wrong with you, or
Or everything
you're a hidden
is
gem.
right.
Yeah. You're what everybody slept on.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a weird.
So what do you guys have planned for the rest of the year? Tell us about it.
Oh, dude, we got all.
Yeah, we interview.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
interview us?
Interview us.
This is where the turn is the
The
turnaround
rest of
point.
this year?
Oh, how the
Oh
tail-
man, I know. I can tell you, we're making 2 big concert announcements for November.
Back to back, right?
Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
Woo!
We're bringing 2 big artists.
2 national artists.
That's. I mean, we got that going on right now. Man, dude, everything we do is like podcast related, but we have so much other shit we do. It's hard to think about. As far as you asking, like guests or just in general?
Yo, in general, because you guys have been so. I'm sure that everybody who's been listening knows your history, but it feels like in the last 6 months, you guys have made a bunch of huge moves, right? Like you started Good Life Records, you signed Alyeska,
Yeah.
you made that announcement like last week or so that said you're potentially gonna sign another artist soon, and it just seems like there's so much on the horizon for you. And being a part of the scene, we're obviously just as invested in you as you are in us. So
We kind of looked at it the way I look at it, you know, as you had bands, and I can't remember their record labels, but like the guy from Fall Out Boy started, was that Fueled by Ramen? Was that him?
yes, yep, that was
And
him.
then you had like
Pete,
Tom DeLonge started.
He wins, yeah.
What did Tom DeLonge start?
Oh, this is all you, RJ.
He started. Tom DeLonge started his own label, didn't he? Back in the
is
day.
it the one Angels and Airwaves is on or was
I
on?
think so. Yeah, but you know what I mean. They all started like these
Right,
side things
right,
where they
right,
were
right.
like record labels. It was more like, let's get a family of bands together, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're doing. Is like, let's get this family of bands together in Omaha, and then just send them on the road together, and like just blow them up. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "What do you get? You get like royalties for the music?" We're like, "No, dude. We're just here to help them. We already get the connections from the podcast. We're not doing anything with it. Why not give it to the bands in Omaha and help them?" So that's all Feel Good Records is, or Feel Good Life Records is.
Yeah.
How about let's switch it. Feel Good Records. I like that.
Good record.
Feel Good Public
Feel
Figure
Good.
Records.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
All hyphenated.
But yeah, man. I mean, like straight up, that's all it really is. And people are like we get hit up by bands now, and like I won't say their band name, but it was funny. You guys know them. They sent me a thing, and they're like, "Hey, we heard the new announcements, this," and it was their band logo with the Feel Good or Good Life. I keep saying it now.
Yeah.
Good Life Records thing on it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, dude! Like, what the fuck?" Like, and they're like, "Can we talk about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it, man. Like, I don't think it is, it's what you think it is, but yeah, we can talk about it for sure. But it's still cool, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people like want
People are coming to you now. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, it's because, like I said, they see what you're doing, and that's just awesome. But you guys get to be selective in situations like that.
Right. And that's kind of cool. And that's the freedom that we both wanted. The freedom to be able to do what we want, to be able to have podcasts, to expand it into concerts, to be able to have listeners meet their favorite artists. I mean, it just feels like this is the route I've been on, and it's all coming to this. And it's, the friendships you make and the relationships you have, that it all comes full circle. So teaming up with DT to really just take this podcast to another level is something special for me.
It's cool, man, because like back in the day, you got to do it with all the bands on the radio, right?
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah.
Emphatic and Vernaculus, and he gets to be like, do this. Well, now he's got the freedom to do whatever he wants with them. So it's super fun for him. So like he gets to go on stage now and be like, yo, this is like something I did. It's all him. So it's super cool, man.
Right. And,
It's cool to see it from this side too.
taking ownership of that too, like where this is our business, just like you guys, LLC certified. So I mean, that was a big step that we wanted to do this year, and to get that LLC meant a really big thing for
I
us.
think getting our banner at Stir is when it turned.
Yeah.
I think that was it, dude. We got that. If you go out tonight, we haven't been to Stir yet, and our banner's out there. But apparently, we have the biggest banner out there.
Yo.
So tonight we're gonna take a picture with like as many of the people we brought with the banner. So we're gonna see the banner for the first time. But
Yep.
yeah, we made that decision. Shout out Stephanie Doty. The shout outs are dope.
At.
But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, she was like, she's like, we get you guys a banner out there, and we'll get you artist interviews and all this. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. And we did it. And then after that, we're like, let's go, man. Let's see what else we can do. So
Yeah.
we just keep grinding.
Yeah,
dude.
that's the thing. Like, you know, once you're invested in it, like you guys have been talking about it, I mean, the sky's the limit, and it's like it's in your hands, and you got to just keep grinding. If you want somebody, you go after it.
Yeah, why can't we throw our own Good Life Festival, like our own Warp Tour next year, and get all the local bands and
That
have
would
5
be-
different
There's
stages?
no reason why you can't do that.
Yeah. In fact, there are many good reasons why you should do that.
Maybe a little hint at what's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're looking at getting on festivals. That's like one of the big struggles that I feel like bands have is that there is I'm going to describe it one way, but I don't want all the connotation around it. So there's like a good old boys club, it feels like, where it's very insulated. It's hard to get in on the festival scene, but that's where you get the maximum exposure besides social media in terms of getting in front of huge crowds, right? And so we've been trying like hell to get on festivals, and we just got done with the One Omaha Festival, and we're booked for another one in December. That we can't say much about yet, but we will be able to soon. And we're trying to get into that. So I'll just say that we would be very interested if you guys are going to put something on like that.
I think so. Like I said, Strawstone, man. Shout out Justin Strawstone. But every time we say someone's name, shout out.
Incredible.
Hashtag nice enough.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's doing with 4 Winds is super cool, man. And it kind of gave me the inspiration for that thought. And I was like, that's super cool. But like, I'm a Warped Tour kid, man. So why not do that for the local scene and go to West Fair or something and get 5 or 6 different stages and just pack it all day.
There are tickets to be sold. I mean, there's plenty of people in the area
Yeah.
who want something
But
like
it's not unrealistic to be like, let's get like Mayday Parade or someone to headline it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
get a couple of huge bands at each stage.
Yeah.
It's not unrealistic.
No, not at all. Especially because you guys had I keep thinking Caleb because I'm thinking of Beartooth, but God, who did you guys have on the podcast recently for
From-
Mayday Parade?
Oh, Alex Garcia?
Alex,
Yeah.
Alex Garcia, yeah.
That was super cool, man. Yeah, that was at Iowa's for Lovers last
Yeah,
year. So
yeah.
they let us go backstage to do the podcast. So we were back there with like Amber Lynn and Red Giant and all of them. And that was like, I told McCoy, I was like, I'm just going to try to plug as many podcasts as I can, but that was the only one I can get. But we just hung out with everybody all day. And I was like, I don't know, that might have been the first time I ever went backstage to like a big thing like that. And I was like, this is fucking cool. Story of the year was the eye opener.
Yeah, I mean, when you get these bands and then you get them on the podcast, it just kind of starts an avalanche because it gives you more confidence. Like it's building reps. And you're like, oh, I can get this guy. We have access to this guy. We have connects with this, and it's just that repetition thing. It's just like the confidence.
Yeah.
And it's anything is possible.
That's what I mean when I say we share our connections. We have all of their publicists and all of their booking agents. So why wouldn't we share that with bands in Omaha that want it? Why,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why
the ones
gatekeep
that are serious. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, the ones that deserve it, give it to them. Let them go out there and hey, if you're playing near Omaha or you're playing in Omaha, here's a band that can open for you. Oh, sweet, there you guys go. Here's an
Yeah.
opportunity. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a Nebraska's for Lovers might be on the menu or something.
If we do it, it's gonna have something to do with Good Life.
Yeah.
Probably,
Oh, yeah.
probably Good Life.
Good life is for lovers.
Yeah, yeah.
Good Life. Something.
That's just
yeah.
true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Facts
We'll
are
figure it out.
facts.
But yeah, that would be cool to have that as like an annual thing, man, like an outdoor show or something.
Yeah,
where it's
for
just
sure.
A bunch of stages. So yeah, I like that. Well, we got shit to talk about now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Coley didn't know anything about this. Now he's like, oh fuck, here goes DT again. Make sure my wife's cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad you guys had if you don't have anything else, I don't want to cut it short.
I'm good to be done.
I'm-
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I'm-
I don't know what time it is.
It's only 3:11.
3:11.
So we got to leave it at
3:11,
that.
make a wish.
I'm
Embers
so
that
like
give you
with you guys
energy.
having Caleb Shomo coming up, right? Like that's a huge opportunity. We can cut all that, obviously.
We could talk about that. We got
can
20 minutes, man. We're good.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
That's why they had to move it because
I have.
Spicoli's interview.
We're not doing a podcast today. No.
Oh, okay.
But so that's like everything we do. Like if we release a video or something, like we always use "I Was Alive" by Beartooth, right? That's like our shit, dude. Like most of their new album is like super like I dare you to say we can't do something. That's what the new album
My
is. Right?
Instagram is littered with Beartooth.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just Beartooth,
Right.
Beartooth. I'm a massive.
So
Beartooth
that was
fan.
his golden egg when he started. Like, we got to get Caleb. We got to get Caleb, and we still never landed for the podcast. And since we found out they were coming to Stir, I was like, yo, just figure out a way we can at least get back there and talk to him and get some pictures with him or something. And we got no. And then, like I said last night, we had to back this up because they were like, hey, be there at 4. You guys are hanging out with Caleb. And I was just like, no fucking way, dude. So
If there was a good
That's
excuse to
super
back
cool.
it up, that's it.
yeah, that's why when I called John,
100%.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm so sorry. And he's like, dude, it's Caleb Schmore. Are you crazy, dude? No, it's totally fine. I was like, all right, dude, cool. So, yeah, no, we're excited. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I had him on my radio show, and he was super cool. And I asked him a question like, when Disease comes out and it's the #1 album, what are you gonna do? And he just sat there and thought about it. He's like, I'm gonna feel like so relieved just to get it off my chest. And now it's the people's. And I never thought about it that way. Like when a band releases an album, it's like it's no longer yours because it's personal to you guys in the studio. But when you get it out, it's no longer yours. And I never thought about it that way. He's like, I'm just gonna be so excited and relieved to get it out. I'm probably just gonna take a nap. So
If he asked today, he's like, what's your favorite song? I'm probably going to say like AC 130. He's like, that's Attack. I'm like, I know. Like, bro, I'm an Attack dude. Like,
Oh,
crazy,
man, okay.
I love Beartooth, but Caleb and Attack was my shit.
I kept getting compared to Andrew Wetzel. I used to have long hair. I'll show you guys a picture of my old driver's license
Really?
in a bit. Yeah, when I say long hair, I mean like Roger long hair.
Oh, wow.
And there's a specific photo of
Not
Andrew
in
Wetzel.
the style of mine. It's
like-
the thing, dude.
Yeah.
It's the whole scene hair, but like the more subdued, like, oh, dude. It
was a
pretty
whole
good
look back
I
in
wanna
the day.
see it. Yeah.
And I'll show you the photo
Send
of
it.
Andrew Wetzel that I used to like literally get side by side comparison to, and people be like, "That's just you, dog."
When
Like,
I
what
used
do
to
you-
have long hair, people said I look like Patrick Stump because I didn't have the beard or anything.
Oh,
I could
And,
see that for
I
sure.
could see it.
I'll show you a picture. Like, I remember back, like, when Facebook was kind of new, they were like, the celebrity day, and you put, like, your celebrity look-alike picture. And my grandma commented, she's like, I love your new guitar. And I was like, what the fuck? It's not me. And,
Grandma.
Fall Out Boy was playing this, I can't remember, they played the Super Bowl, or they played some football game, some shit. And the night before, I was out at Varsity Drink with my buddy Jared, and all these girls came to the table and like, can we have your autograph? And I'm like, yeah. And I did rap at the time, so I felt like I was badass.
you're like, yo,
And I was like signing in my name, and they're like, that doesn't look like Patrick Stump. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? And so my buddy Jared comes by and he goes, yo, I just told the whole bar you were just in town for tonight and you're flying out tomorrow to play the
No
show. And I'm
way.
like, you dick. So this whole bar thought I was Patrick Stump, dude.
That is a good friend. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
did you play the part then?
No, dude, I signed tons of autographs, David Taylor.
Oh, boo.
But like, I was doing music at the time, so I was like, oh shit, I'm blowing up, dude.
dude, shoot your shot, boy. Shoot your shot.
Guess when I stopped doing music? Right after that. I was like, fuck, man. That's dope. What's your guys' like your dream people you want to open for right now? Like, who's like the one that you'd freak out about?
that's a bit of a
I
loaded
prevail,
question.
dude.
I Prevail?
Yeah, dude.
So I Prevail is a huge influence for us, at least in terms of, at minimum, in terms of our live show.
Dayseeker, dude.
Oh,
Dayseeker,
dude.
100% Dayseeker would be huge.
Don Broco.
Don
I'd-
Broco.
I'd love to open for Don.
Do you guys
Broco.
know Don
I
Broco?
don't know if I know Don Broco. Do you
Holy
know Don Broco?
I've heard
Listen
of it, yeah.
to Don
Don Broco.
Broco.
Got it.
Watch their live. Dude.
Everything they do is
Everything.
fantastic. We got the idea of being like a party band from them. And I don't know if they describe themselves as that. I've never heard or read that, but they are a party band. When you listen to their stuff, you'll realize their choruses are massive. They are walls of sound that just force you to move. I saw them live and I cried while I crowd surfed. I'll say it, dude. It was just
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
how I felt like the first time I saw NFG. Like Newfound Glory, man.
Yeah.
Like when you see them live, like you, yeah, no, I get it, man. Like party bands, it's so much. When you see them live, like that alone will sell anything on them, dude.
yeah.
That's how I felt about Blink 182.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Darn, dude. They didn't even have to sing anything. They just turned the mic around and everybody just sang the songs.
I'm going to see him in August.
You are?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Kansas City.
That's fucking dope, dude.
It's going to be an awesome show.
Definitely top 2 band.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Creed. I want to open for Creed.
Creed.
Yeah, no, Creed would be huge to open for. I'm really glad that they saw a resurgence. You know, a lot of people throw the phrase around like butt rock or whatever to describe like Creed, Nickelback.
Well, I don't like those people.
Yeah,
Those
specifically.
people have no place.
Yeah, we love bands like that
I
because
love
it's
Creed.
it's very clear that number one, first of all, Creed plays awesome music. Have you listened to some of their guitar riffs? They are not just playing 4 chords.
Tremonti, right?
Yeah.
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 He's
and
badass.
Yeah.
golly, I just love those guys. Love Nickelback too.
Anybody that talks shit,
Golly.
Miss Molly.
shucks. Anyone
right.
that talks shit should go watch the Netflix thing on, or Nickelback thing on Netflix. Did
For
you wa-
sure.
I'm sure you
I
watched
did.
it.
Yeah, I watched it right away.
And Nickelback fucks too, dude. Like,
Yeah.
they're.
I gotta be honest, I was one of those guys, so I watched the Netflix thing and I was like, I should stop being a piece of shit, man. Like I should be. Yeah, I was one of. It's one of those things. It's like you go to their concert and like you'll know every song for 3 hours.
Well, I always wondered, where does that stem from? Because like I don't go out of my way to listen to Nickelback, but for some reason I know all Nickelback songs. Like why?
Radio. Radio.
Nothing but
radio.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned
Anberlin?
Oh, yeah.
dude, I would love to open for Anberlin too.
They're one of
now
my
they
favorite
got
bands ever.
Maddie, what's his name from Memphis May Fire's the lead singer, right?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Instead of
I
Steven
guess I
Christian.
didn't know that.
Yeah, what is his name?
Maddie Mullins.
Matty Mullins.
That's the lead singer
Yeah.
at
Yep.
Anberlin now.
Matty Mullins, dude.
And I don't know if Christians was joking about he's the new lead singer of Memphis May Fire, but he announced that on Instagram a couple.
That
weeks
would
ago.
be a crazy crossover.
I hope not.
Oh yeah,
hope not.
that'd be pretty wild. You know, they did live iterations of all 7 of their albums over COVID. They like went into a studio and they also did like a video piece of it, but then they released those live versions.
Who? Which one?
Anberlin.
Okay.
Anberlin, and their live rendition of Cities of Never Take Friendship Personal got me through a lot of the downtimes of COVID. I'm gonna be honest. Like I love those guys so much. Their song Finn. Still makes me cry to this day. It's
Did
so
you go
good.
to I Was for Lovers last year and see him?
I did not.
They
No,
killed it, dude.
I
They
believe it.
killed it.
I believe it. I want to go see them so bad, but opening for them would be incredible.
They're playing the same night this year in Sioux City as I Was for Lovers this year.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to I Was for Lovers. I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to see Yellow Card.
Right.
100%.
Yellow Card, dude. I love Yellow Card, man.
Same.
That's like when so I'm a bar manager and I work out at like this craft beer bar out in Elkhorn called Corner Tap.
Oh, you do?
And,
So cool.
Yeah, and a lot of my clientele, a lot of my regulars and stuff are what's the word? 55 plus, let's say that.
I love it.
And-
you didn't say elder.
Well,
55 plus.
no, but like here's the thing though. It's dude, age is I mean, you hear it your whole life. It's literally just a number. The only difference between the 58-year-olds that I hang out with and like my 18-year-old, you know, brother and my sister-in-law is 40 years. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody just wants to like have a good time, and so they, you know, I've been there for 5 years, and they want to come support me and see, you know, our shows and stuff, and they're like, well, what do you sound like? What bands would I know? Maybe that, and I was like, do you know, like Yellow Card? Like I kind of, that's, you know, a barometer that I've used before is minus the violin, but you know.
We've talked to like artists on the podcast who are like huge, right? Like fucking huge. And we'll say like, you remember The Used? And they're like, no, who's that? And I'm just like,
Are you serious?
The Used? They don't remember The Used?
Who's the used?
yeah, I mean,
What
it's people
the-
are just like sitting there like, what? Like, why are you here? Like, you sound just like them. They're like, really? I'll check them out. Like, dude.
I'll have to check out that small underground band.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
used.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Used. Huh?
Good lord.
Yikes. So, man.
Are they the ones with that song that's like Yummy Ink or like?
Oh, God.
Something about
That was the worst joke.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. No,
I was gonna say taste of ink.
no, that was
No,
Ashley's
that's
back
his
here
joke.
correct. Like,
Yeah.
don't you fuck up The Used, Roger.
that is just
Don't you
proof that
do
my
it.
joke.
She is
flopped.
holding a knife.
We thought you were serious.
No, that joke.
I was
flopped
following the joke.
unrealistically hard. Yeah.
Jesus. I had a blast talking to you guys, man. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
For sure.
shout out to Ashley Tale Untold. There's another
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
running the cams.
Thanks. My wife actually told me I should wear my crop top today because it was so hot.
It's a good day for a crop
would've been a
top.
good day for a
I
crop
almost
top.
wore mine too.
Crop top.
You might want to go back on our Facebook a little bit and look at some
Oh
pictures.
yeah.
You-
Oh,
and
yeah.
John got to
Actually,
see it in
we're-
person.
Oh yeah, I got to see
Taylor
it in
Untold
person.
crop top.
He
You guys saw
rocked
him?
it.
Oh yeah.
It was
Oh
incredible.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them.
No, but like we're
Heck
we're
yeah.
super humbled to have come on you guys' podcast. So thank you guys so much for inviting us. We're just looking forward to everything you guys have coming. We're really excited about all the stuff we've got coming.
Yeah,
And,
man.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
We're
Good
excited
rest
to
of the
throw
year.
back some drinks with you in a couple weeks at the 1 year bash too, man. That's gonna be a
Oh,
wild night.
hell
Dude,
yeah.
I'll throw down some NAs, man.
Yeah, let's
I
go.
can't wait for all the people who don't listen when we tell them to get their doors open because they're gonna be pissed.
When they have to be in the back, because Maloney's is like
It's
split.
long, dude. It's a
It's
deep
split,
place,
right?
man.
It's a long hallway and then it opens up again. So if you don't get there at 6 or 5:30, I think is when we have doors open.
Yeah,
again.
get
Good
there
luck.
early. It's gonna be a party.
No, you guys are awesome, dude, man. I'm so glad we got to do this with
Yeah,
you. seriously.
727 public figure. We'll see you guys there. Thank you guys.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you guys so much.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
All the way. We're gonna fly out and run it wild until the midnight hour.